the Karine Jean-Pierre interview. Okay.
Yes.
Good one.
She sat down with the New Yorker and the reporter Isaac Chodoner. I don't know him. Chodoner. Maybe I should know him. I think I want to know him after I read this interview. It's amazing. And he did the very simple thing that is all you need to do when sitting across from a dumb liar like Karine Jean-Pierre, which is just ask the most basic, simple questions. It was literally like, what does that mean? I still don't understand. Could you please explain? Could you elaborate? That's literally all he did for page after page and just hoisted her on her own petard. It was a thing of beauty. We've got to go through it. There'll be some dramatic reenactments here, but this is a beauty. I mean, it's to the point where even the left is acknowledging this is the end of her career. Like the press tour has not been going well at all.
No.
And then this is the final nail in the coffin. So he starts, he sets it up and talks about she left the party because the party didn't stand by Joe Biden. I guess that's why she wants to become an independent now, but unclear. Okay, so here's the question. You feel like you had to leave the Democratic Party because of the way it treated Joe Biden. How did it treat Joe Biden? This is like you're deposing a 4-year-old. How did it do that? It's like making it as simple as possible. Come on, Karine, even you can do it. Now, remember this opening line she gives. I call it a betrayal. I call it. That's my special thing. That it's a betrayal, she says. Okay? I'm going to stitch together these answers because they're very long, but I've highlighted the relevant parts. And by the way, I'm doing her a favor because I'm going to make her sound more lucid and cogent and following a thread than she is because she meanders all over the hell and gone. You're like, get back here to first base. She's out in left field. Come back. The ball is here. So I'm going to condense it. She says, I was the person who was standing on that podium behind that lectern having to take in all the hard questions on this, rightfully so. And I was watching what Democratic leadership was doing. It was an all-out, full-on campaign to embarrass him, to push him out. And I thought to myself, this man is one of the most decent people that I know. And objectively, it was a good presidency. It was a good presidency. Some have even said he did more in one term than most presidents do in two. So I just didn't understand. Yeah, many people. just didn't understand why this was happening. So he says, you said that the party was trying to undermine Biden. What do you think they were doing and why? Well, I just laid it out. I just said there was an obvious campaign. You just had to watch. Sure, but why were they doing that? Because they believed he needed to step aside. This is very layered, right? There's a period of time, layered, that I questioned what was happening and how do we treat our own? How do we treat people who are decent people? And then you also have to think about, here we go, folks, how I'm thinking about this as a insert.
Here we go.
What is Karine Jean-Pierre, everyone?
Well, a black queer woman.
Black queer woman. Ding,
There's
ding,
the
ding,
resume.
ding, ding. To the gentleman in the hat. You have to think about how I'm thinking about this. This is a black woman who is part of the LGBTQ community as well.
There it is.
And living in this time where I also don't think Democrats right now, Democrat leadership, is protecting vulnerable people in the way that it should. She didn't get enough protection. And Biden, I guess, here is the vulnerable person, which is true. But that's the whole point. That's why he needed to go. He had moved from being firm to infirm and needed to be wheeled right out of the Oval Office. So now Isaac says, sorry, I'm not trying to be dense. I'm a little unclear about what this has to do with Democratic leaders and many Democrats in the country thinking Joe Biden was going to lose to Trump, which was what the polls all showed, and therefore thinking that he should be replaced. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on a second. She does this, like when she's lost, like, hold on. Hold on. She's talking to herself.
She does the Alex Trebek, what is a black queer woman? It's like supposed to be the out on this.
Nobody knows anything, she says. Again, she's talking to herself. Nobody knows what would have happened. She goes on, millions of people who showed up in 2020 didn't show up in 2024. We can't forget that there was an incumbency issue as well. This is real. There are like several G10 countries with incumbents who did not get reelected. There was an incumbency issue as well. And then Isaac speaks for us all.
Yes.
I'm not sure what you're saying.
Yeah. Okay. So Megyn, this is my favorite exchange here at the end of that answer that KJP gives. Again, this is a professional communications expert, somebody who was at the lectern every day of the Biden administration. And she has this whole run-up about how Biden was still qualified, should have been the candidate. And then she proceeds to undermine her entire argument by saying, other G12, leaders lost because of their incumbency. And it's like,
all the incumbents
so then
went
what
down.
is the point you're trying to make? It makes no sense.
So he was going to lose. That's the point. He was going to lose, which is why the Democrats wanted him out. Could have been for incumbency, could have been for frailty, but they all thought he was going to lose. Okay, I'm not sure what you're saying. And then here we go. No. Wait a minute.
Amazing.
She's not used to it spinning out of control, right? She's like, I am usually in control at the lectern and I can control my inanity. And there's only so much cross-examination I'm subjected to. Okay, you're saying that this was their thinking, that they were kind of predicting, but nobody knew what was going to happen. No one knew that Joe Biden was going to win in 2020, and no one knew what was going to happen in 2024. People believed in their hearts that Kamala was going to win. They believed it. They saw the polling, and they thought she was going to win looking at the polling. Nobody knew anything. I'm only bringing up the polls because you brought up the polls to me.
What?
Okay. No one knows. Literally, nobody knows. Then Isaac says, you said you were speaking as a black woman who's part of the LGBTQ community. And I think people were I'm talking about in this moment too. I do not feel seen. I have not been seen in the party because they are throwing the LGBTQs under the bus. Really?
Because of Joe Biden?
Yeah, they're not fighting it out for migrants and immigrants. You have to be a big tent party. You have to fight for everyone.
What?
Back to Isaac. I'm just still trying to understand.
I've never heard this part of the interview. She's saying I'm not being seen. She's literally on camera talking about a book that she wrote titled Independent. How she's different from the Democrat. Like,
you don't understand, dude. So she explains to him that she's a black queer woman.
Yeah, she pushed the button.
Among their superpowers is invisibility. So she can't be seen at times.
Yes.
If there's a question, that should be the out.
He's supposed to get down on his knees. That's it. All tough questionings stops. And you're supposed to genuflect because she said the magic words. This has been life for her, in her, and I quote, chocolate skin. This is.
Are you for real?
Hand to God. Hand to God. My audience is my witness. That's another KJP quote from her tour. Okay.
This is so much better than the clips that people put out on Twitter, Megyn. This is golden content and only brought to you on the Megyn Kelly Show.
Smug often talks about his mocha.
Yeah.
So
I feel unseen in my mocha skin.
I'm vanilla. I'm Madagascar vanilla.
There you go.
The folks at Cowboy Colostrum say. Okay. So he's like, it's a thing. It's an actual product. Okay.
Oh, man.
He made the vanilla sound more exotic by putting the word Madagascar in front of it. Okay. God. Here we go. He's like, I'm still trying to understand. He goes through a wind up and he says, you're talking about Biden like loyalty was owed to him. Isn't loyalty owed to the country? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying this is not how you treat somebody. So now she says, I'm not talking about loyalty. I refer you back to the part I told you to remember, the very first answer she gave. I call it a betrayal. It's a betrayal. Oh, and then he says, you're talking about Biden like loyalty was owed to him. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about loyalty. I'm saying this is not how you treat somebody. Poor Isaac is holding on by his fingernails. And then he says, is this a matter of how you treat someone or a matter of putting the country first? See, he's keeping it at the third grade level so she can follow. Poor guy's thinking he's actually going to get a clear answer at some point. Then here she goes, wait a minute. This is her trick, right? This is her thing. Wait, treating somebody with dignity is not the same as loyalty. What? You're the one who said it was a betrayal. I mean, the way he was treated, I had never, if you had seen something like that in the Democratic Party, please point it out. So what was an example of the way he was treated? It was nasty articles that were coming out daily. Go back and see for yourself. You're writing the articles, right? You should go back and see for yourself. It was a campaign. It was even reported that it was a campaign. So you think asking him to step aside was okay, but there shouldn't have been nasty articles? He's trying. He's
here's the thing. Let's pause on this for a second, because Ashbrook's got a great bit on this, and it's why she knows it came from within. There was nasty articles or whatnot, because nasty articles about a Democrat, particularly a Democrat who's president of the United States, do not exist unless they come from other Democrats, right, Johnny?
Exactly right. It's axiomatic in the legacy media. They only attack a Democrat when a second Democrat stands to benefit.
Yep.
Yeah.
So true. Katie Porter.
So she's done the math on that part.
That's Katie Porter. That's why she got asked those tough questions by that CBS gal, because it's an open primary. Lots of other Democrats. Let's get rid of her now if she's weak. That's the only time they ever face the questions.
That's it.
So
so
he's like, okay, so you're saying asking him to step aside was okay, but there shouldn't have been nasty articles. Look, what I'm saying is it shouldn't have happened that way. Then he says, but it should have happened, or it shouldn't have happened.
This guy is good.
And my dog Strudwick could follow this. She says, oh, wait, can you predict what she says now? She's resorting to two things, black and queer, and what's her other favorite thing to do at the beginning of these answers?
No.
Yeah, wait. She says, wait. Just wait. I don't think it should have happened. Then she blah, 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 blah. I believe we should have fought to make sure Joe Biden and Kamala Harris won. That's what I believed. Then he says, okay, polling was pretty accurate, blah, blah, blah. He says, so you have no concern even to this day that Joe Biden could serve as president through January 2029? I did not see anything that would have given me concern. But you watched TV like the rest of us, right? Says, and then she says this, I always couch it with this. Of course, he was older. And I love the filler, like, you'll have to excuse my lie I'm about to tell you, because I always deliver this lie. It's my chosen lie.
I have to buy time to think of what the lie actually is. So let me preface it with entire prefix where I'm still thinking.
Totally, Holmes. I've got 10 filler words that will cue me to deliver my favorite lie. And here I will. Of course, he was aging. He mentioned it. He talked about not speaking as well as he used to, not walking as well as he used to. I saw him every single day at his White House as his White House press secretary. And he was someone that was engaged, on top of policy, challenging his staff. I mean, challenging Karine Jean-Pierre. That I believe. Then he says, one could conceivably think that he could do the job through January 2025, meaning the end of his first term, but that it was not wise to think he could do the job through January 2029, right? It's not my place to say.
Oh,
what?
Oh my God.
It was her place to say. She was literally the spokesperson for that thing.
That's incredible.
Right. And she just got done talking about
book.
Talking about how he got the short shift because he wasn't the candidate. Now it's not my place to say whether he could do the job.
Okay, one thing
conversation.
The thing that is most wild about all of this, just to take it back to the highest level, is the book is called Independent. And she is Joe Biden's most loyal soldier. It makes no sense.
Nothing independent about any of it.
I don't want it to stop.
It's not my place.
I just don't want it to stop.
And then it reads Inside a Broken White House. And now she said twice in her book tour that she's talking about the Trump White House.
Oh, boy.
She's talking about inside the Trump White House, which, like everything around this woman, makes no sense.
This is amazing.
She's not talking about that.
Did the book publishers hate her to let this get out there? Were they like, we want everyone to make fun of you forever?
I have a feeling that they had some kind of a signing bonus, and they're like, hey, dude, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're another Mike Donnelly. They're another Mike Donnelly. They're like,
there's a reason people rubberneck. There's a reason people rubberneck at car crashes. You know, I mean, it's that whole saying of, better to be thought of as a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. You know, I mean, that's her entire problem.
Yeah. Well, who are we kidding? All 5 of us are going out to buy this book today. I mean, that's obvious.
It's just a bestseller.
So we're stuck on. It's not my place to say whether he could have actually done the job for a second term. And then here goes Isaac. What do you mean it's not your place to say? And then, gentlemen, what does she say next? I'll give you a guess.
Wait.
No, wait.
This is so unreal.
Wait. I'm answering the question. I did not see anything that would cause me concern. That is my answer. Except the debate and the other things that everyone saw, says Isaac, right? Like, he's on it. Like, you saw the damn debate. You saw him falling down. You saw him tripping. You saw him losing his train of thought. You saw him saying dead people were alive. That's me. He didn't ask her that way. He kept it simple for Strudwick, except the debate and the other things that everyone saw. What I'm saying to you is the debate, for me, was one time. I had never seen him like that before. Okay, we go on, blah, 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 blah. Then he says, I'm just a little surprised that you don't see what so many people, including so many Democrats, saw. I'm not the only person who feels this. I'm just the one speaking very loudly. I'm the person who's saying the quiet thing out loud. What?
What's the quiet thing out? That's just a cliche that doesn't fit in this context.
Amazing. Like, this is such a damning indictment on DEI. Like, there is no greater example of what happens. Like, it is truly the soft bigotry of low expectations. This woman has no business writing a book, let alone being the spokesperson for the president of the United States of America. This is what happens. And then she always falls back on, as an unseen queer black woman, LGBTQ. We have come to the end of an era where people have opened up their eyes and realized this is what you get. She can't answer a question. She can't write a book. She can't be the spokesperson for the president of the United States.
But it's also the training. It's the training ground of Democrat communicators, in that I am certain this is an out-of-body experience for her, because for the first time in her life, she said, I think, is that an MSNBC interview?
No, it's New York Mag.
No,
New York Mag.
The New Yorker.
The New Yorker.
Yeah. Okay. Well, same difference.
Same thing.
But like, the point is that somebody who is a New Yorker columnist is asking her real questions. She's like, you don't understand. That's not your job. Mm-hmm. I told you I was a black queer woman.
Yep.
Why are we still getting to this?
Right.
You know,
it's don't appear to be down on your knees.
Yeah, I mean, this is what they are used to. This is just the way a corporate media has worked for generations of Democrats.
Right. And it makes Democrats soft. They learn all the wrong lessons. They feel like the media is actually their press office. And if you talk to reporters, and these guys make fun of me because I have journo buddies, but what the journo buddies all tell me is that if when you take a call from one of these Democrat press secretaries, the expectation is that you will write the story the exact way they want it. And if they don't like the portion of the speech that you pull out and put into the article that their boss said, if their boss gets mad at them, they get mad at the reporter, because the expectation is this story must look like a press release or you're against our mission.
Yeah.
You know, that's the way they think.
Buy gold and get free silver. That's right. For every $5,000 purchased from Birch Gold Group this month in advance of Veterans Day, they will send you a free patriotic silver round that commemorates the Gadsden and American flags. Look, gold is up over 40% since the beginning of this year, and Birch Gold can help you own it by converting an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold. Plus, they'll send you free silver honoring our veterans on qualifying purchases. And if you are current or former military, Birch Gold has a special offer just for you. They are waiving custodial fees for the first year on investments of any amount. With an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau and tens of thousands of happy customers, consider diversifying your savings into gold. Text MK to the number 989898 for a free info kit and to claim your eligibility for free silver with qualifying purchase before the end of the month. Again, text MK to the number 989898. Message and data rates may apply. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.